Today's conference has been inspired by Sophia Duleep Singh. Sophia was the youngest daughter of Maharajah Duleep Singh, the last emperor of Punjab, and she was one of our foremost suffragettes, so she actually fought alongside Emily Parks. Today's conference is inspired by her story. The idea is to bring together women from diverse communities to a table, a space which is non-judgmental, non-partisan, just a space which is safe for them to voice their opinions and try and see if they can support each other to make change.
I'm Sonia Qureshi, and in this particular presentation I picked the topic of freedom. Freedom is about actualizing your rights to free speech, free movement, being safe. It's everyone's right to be safe. This year we've seen the Reclaim Our Streets campaign, voicing the lack of police intelligence and support, especially policing, when it comes to violence against women. And what was interesting sitting there after my talk and hearing other colleagues speak is the underlying theme is very similar. It's about being activists in our own sphere. And I think some of the audience came up to us and said, "Oh, I was inspired by what you said." And I was like, "Oh, really?" You know, for me, I wasn't trying to be inspirational, but I think some of the home truths resonate with everybody. At the end of the day, you might not think you're an activist, but those thoughts are still in your head, that I don't like that, or that shouldn't happen, or that's unacceptable. And we all have the ability to change what's around us, so we shouldn't forget that.
At today's event, I spoke about how I began my education project to go against performative activism. I wanted people to educate themselves and have the resources to do that. I think that it's opened people's eyes to the amount of different perspectives that different communities have based on how they deal with the issues within their communities and as women, and how speaking isn't enough. It's about action, and if government officials and the people who are supposed to be doing things aren't doing something, then women will always take it into their own hands.
I think the event's been really great. It's nice to hear a wide variety of voices as opposed to like an all-white middle-aged panel. So it's really nice to have that diversity, and I think it's inspirational to hear from so many women that have done so many magnificent things with their lives to show that we are capable of this change, and there are things that do stand in the way of it, but when we come together it's a lot easier to discuss and share ideas, and I think that's an important thing to move forward with. One of the things that I'm really hoping will happen is abolishing this idea that we need to be respectable in order to be believed or to be heard, and that to do that we need to raise one another up and also challenge existing attitudes and misconceptions about what a perfect victim looks like, and know that all of us should matter regardless of who we are, and that our stories are important too.
I've really heard great things about what these women are doing. I've met great people, and I'm sure everyone feels the same, so it's been super helpful and inspiring from my point of view.
When you call a truth out, it does make some people uncomfortable, and that's the only way to effect change.
I do think we're all capable of change, but we need to acknowledge existing structures that prevent other people from being able to change and help alleviate those structures to move forward to a place where we can all be heard.